He said that there was a meeting this morning outside John Hunter Hospital with about 25-30 of our very best paramedics who had been called here urgently. It was a softly spoken address to those paramedics. I understand it was along the lines of, I know this is your job, I know that you're very good at this, but I need you to be prepared for the scene that confronts you, and that will give you a bit of an idea as to just the trauma that's being experienced, not just by the families, but by those incredible men and women whose job it is to go to that scene and try to save lives. This is what we heard from New South Wales Ambulance.
My thoughts go out for all the family that are involved, and obviously the police are currently helping liaise to notify the family.
I guess how are your staff doing? I know we say that you do this every day, but not something to this scale. How are they doing?
Oh look, whilst they're paramedics every day of their lives, something like this is, not a job that they go to every day. So I'm incredibly proud of all the paramedics that attended. They did a fantastic job under the circumstances, and no doubt, they'll be reflecting, and we'll make sure that we have the right support there for them as well.
Now, we'll just remind you we are standing by for a live report from the Prime Minister. There he is. He's just walking out. He's going to obviously address the media and make a statement on this tragic bus accident that's happened in the Hunter Valley.
Thanks for joining me. I wish to make a statement about the tragedy that has unfolded overnight in Greta. All of us know the joy of going to a wedding, a chance to celebrate dear friends and family. They are some of the happiest times that you can have. For a joyous day like that in a beautiful place to end with such terrible loss of life and injury is so cruel and so sad and so unfair. People hire a bus for weddings in order to keep their guests safe, and that just adds to the unimaginable nature of this tragedy. All Australians' thoughts go out to the family, friends and loved ones of those we've lost in such horrific circumstances. And to all those 25 in hospital, they are at John Hunter Hospital, but also many have been flown to Sydney for care. We're thinking of you and sending our best wishes for a recovery. Dan Rapicoli, who I spoke with this morning, as well as the Premier Chris Minns, he said earlier, and he was right, the Hunter is a tight-knit community, and anyone who's been up there knows that that is absolutely right. And he has had confirmed that there are certainly locals involved as well in this tragedy. I want to give our thanks to the first responders, those who arrived at this terrible scene. I cannot imagine what they were confronted with, what they had to deal with. But they did as they always did, their job. They did their best looking after people, trying to do their best to save lives and to assist in the recovery at this horrific scene. So to them, to the doctors and nurses, to the police and emergency services, to those who transported the injured to hospital, I say once again thank you. I say also thank you to those people who will continue to assist in the days, weeks, months and years ahead. The mental scars of this will not go away. They are there forever, and we need to make sure that when the spotlight leaves, the care doesn't, for people who have witnessed this and for people who've experienced this tragedy firsthand. I want to say, if you're worried about family or friends, please contact Cessnock Police Station on 02 4991 0199. For those who have any information on the crash, please contact Crime Stoppers on 1800 333 000. Please do use Crime Stoppers. The police have asked respectfully that we keep the Cessnock police lines open for the family and friends. For those who need assistance, Lifeline is as always available on 131114. My government will provide whatever support is necessary to the families as details become clearer. For now, we're thinking of you. Australia wraps its arms around you, and Australians' hopes and prayers are with you on this tragic day. Thank you. Thank you.
There you go. The Prime Minister speaking there, saying government support will be offered to the families. Australia wraps our arms around you. Obviously, thoughts and prayers going out to the victims, Matt Doran, but also tributes to the first responders. His words were lovely, weren't they? They did what they always did. They did their job, Matt Doran.
Yeah, really beautiful, really powerful, really moving words, Nat, as you point out there. And to be honest, I've seen some of the photos of the crash site this morning, and the Prime Minister is right. What the first responders have encountered there, it won't just take some time for that to leave their minds and their memories. I imagine it will be with them forever, because we haven't seen a crash of this magnitude in New South Wales since 1989. Crash investigators tell me that you have to go back 34 years to when two coaches collided, and we had the devastating toll of 35 dead then. We have 10 who have died here in the most devastating of circumstances, celebrating on their way back from what was one of the happiest times of their lives, as the Prime Minister has pointed out there. His words really, really powerful, so cruel, so unsafe and so unfair. And when the spotlight leaves, let's hope that the care for the affected families does not. I think that's a really, really important point here. I just want to point out as well, Nat, if I could, a little bit about the bus company involved here. We've spoken about the driver, the 58-year-old, who is at the police station at the moment with minor injuries, and I understand with some really serious charges pending. This is from the bus company. It's a little bit about what they do. From our private charters, we offer school charters and sports team transportation. Our luxury buses are equipped with seat belts and some of the most professional and friendly drivers. They have been doing that for 30 years here in the Hunter Valley, so they'll be scratching their heads too as to how on a really foggy night a bus has overturned, and we have seen one of the deadliest crashes in New South Wales history.
Matt, the thing about this is that we're hearing people from around Australia were at that wedding at Wandon Estate, with everyone piling on the bus at the end of the night, which a lot of us have done. At 11:30 at night this happened, and they were heading to Singleton, obviously to other accommodation afterwards. A member of the Sunrise team's friend, we understand, may have been on that bus, and they, like many people around this country, will have been doing the same. They have been calling and calling and calling and getting no answer. That will be repeated around the country today.
Nat, and I've actually tried to call a few people from that wedding event myself this morning, which has been actually a really challenging thing to do, because some of the numbers have just rung out. Now, that is, of course, not even a glimpse into the agony that the families would be feeling. And some of these victims are still, this morning, trapped underneath this bus. They've got to get a crane in there to lift it up and to honour these victims and get them back to safety. That says a whole lot about just the magnitude of what's happened here.
Just give us an understanding too, because just hours earlier they were partying at this wedding. It was a beautiful day, a beautiful ceremony, from what we've heard.
Shirvo, if you have a look at some of the videos that are available from the wedding that was happening here last night, it was glorious. It was beautiful. It was magnificent, as it should. It was the best time in the bride and groom's life, and those who were lucky enough to be there were celebrating as well. It's really difficult to watch those videos, I must say. And then at 11:30, onto the bus that was booked, no doubt, to keep the guests safe, and how it has overturned, we still don't know. But potentially, I must say, some of the charges that could be pending, dangerous driving occasioning death. If indeed some of those charges are levelled, they carry 10 years maximum each offence.
OK, thank you very much, Matt. We have 10 people confirmed dead, 25 in hospital. Back with more in a moment. This is Sunrise on 7. That's all from us from Sunrise today. Let's go to the morning show. Sally and Larry.